माननीय तिरुचि शिवा 7 minutes. 7 minutes.
Thank you, Deputy Chairman, sir. Sir, I stand to oppose this bill, for it is undemocratic, unethical.
Please, Shivaji.
Mic is not working. This.
Its mic is functioning. You see, please, your mic. It's already functioning.
Sir, I stand to oppose this bill.
Please, speak. Tiruchi ji, please speak.
For it is undemocratic, unethical, unjustifiable, unacceptable, and Shawl is obstructing. I don't know.
You please speak. You are losing your time.
For it, sir, undermines the very purpose, sir. Sir, any nation will have a head, even it may be ruled by a dictator. But only in a democracy, the people decide who will be the ruler to administer the country. And the unique and supreme indicator or identity of a democratic country is fair and free elections. And for the undercurrent of it is the ballot. Sir, ballot is not a fickle choice. It is the soul of the country. It brings poor and the rich equal. The educated and the uneducated, everyone are equal before when they stand in the polling booth. Moreover, sir, we, the Indians, gained it after 200 years of subjugation. It keeps the hope alive in hearts of 140 crore of people. It is a decision, it is a lifeline, and of course, it is a responsibility of the people. Sir, why I am telling much about the ballot paper? It's a hope for a better future, better life, and better India. And the Election Commission is the entity which takes care of the elections, which gives power to the people of this country. And this bill, the Chief Election Commissioner and other Election Commissioners' appointment conditions of service and term of office, geopolitize this sacred principle of the ballot and values that are part of the constitutional basic structure, such as the rule of law, the right to equality and fair election. It's yet another nail in the coffin for the EC's autonomy by paving the path for appointment of a yes man as a Chief Election Commissioner to decide the fate of our electoral democracy. Sir, the objection reasons very clearly say, the Honorable Supreme Court in writ petition civil number 104 of 2015, Anup Banerwal versus Union of India, declared that the appointment of CEC and EC shall be made by the President on the basis of advice tendered by a committee consisting of the Prime Minister, the leader of opposition in the Lok Sabha, and in case there is no such leader, the leader of the largest party in the opposition in Lok Sabha, having the largest numerical strength, and the Chief Justice of India. This is very important, sir. It has been clarified that in the aforesaid judgment that the said norm provided by Supreme Court will continue to hold till a law is made by the Parliament. Now, an attempt is made here. We have brought a bill to enact a law. But that bill does not serve the purpose what the Supreme Court has directed. Supreme Court has said there must be a committee comprising of the Prime Minister, the leader of the opposition in the Lok Sabha, and the Chief Justice of India. Whereas this bill provides a search committee and a select committee. And the search committee consists of only bureaucrats. The secretary in the government, who may be in office, they will comprise the search committee and they will give a panel of members. And the select committee, the bill provides the Prime Minister, the leader of opposition, or the leader who is the major party in the opposition side, if at all there is no leader of opposition, and a union minister appointed by the Prime Minister. Then everything is over. And further it says that to select an election commissioner or the CEC, there need not be a unanimous decision. A majority will be enough. Means very clear. Why this bill? You can very well, jolly well say that whatever the government wishes can be done. Sir, Madam, I would like to say one thing. This government has brought all the bills and legislative laws which I have repeatedly said that don't forget, one day or other you will be in the opposition and you will face the wrath of all the legislation you have done. They think that they will be forever in the ruling party and the treasury benches. So the Prime Minister and the Union Minister appointed by him along with the leader of opposition, what will be the decision? What the Prime Minister and the Union Minister will decide. So their choice will be there. And otherwise, one more thing, other than the members suggested by the search committee, the select committee can appoint anyone else. Then what is the use of the search committee? See, there is a search committee consisting of only bureaucrats. And the select committee has a majority of the government, that is the Prime Minister and the Union Minister. And moreover, the search committee's recommendations will be thrown off and they will appoint any other person whom they wish. All are really a farce. So what is the purpose of a bill which is going to become a law? The Chief Justice of India, why not he be a member is a very big question, and why you are bypassing it, only you have to say. What is wrong or what prevents you or objects you by having the Chief Justice of India as a member of the Select Committee? So, I would like to quote Dr. Ambedkar, very, very pertinent. Everyone has to repeat it, no wonder, because he is the architect of our Constitution. The episode reminds us, on June 16th, 1949, during the debates in the Constituent Assembly on the draft Article 289, now Article 324 of the Constitution, dealing with the Election Commission, he precisely said, I quote Dr. Ambedkar, quote, there is no provision in the Constitution to prevent the appointing of either a fool or a knave or a person who is likely to be under the thumb of the executive. Said by none other than Dr. Ambedkar. A day earlier, unquote, a day earlier on June 15, 1949, while moving the draft Article 289 in the Constituent Assembly for setting up an election commission, Ambedkar had observed, quote, without any kind of dissent, that in the interest of the purity and freedom of elections to the legislative bodies, it was of utmost importance that they should be freed from any kind of interference from the executive of the day. But now the executive is having the entire control. The select committee can ignore those members, Mike, can ignore the recommendation of the search committee and it can, excuse me, I can just, I don't know, in the winter we cannot wear the shawl because of the mic. This has to be taken note of by the Parliament Office Minister. Article 324 of the Constitution provides that the power of superintendence, direction and control of elections to Parliament, state legislatures, the office of the President of India and the office of Vice President of India shall be vested in the Election Commission. So, Election Commission is not just another entity in the country. This is the foremost. That's why it is chosen to be autonomous, without the intrusion of the government or any other forces from outside.
Thambi.
So we expect a lot.
Thambi.
Make a pardon? Yes, solunga. Yes, ma'am. I think I have time.
Just 5 minutes more.
I have 5 minutes. 5 minutes.
7 minutes.
Yeah, I know. I have given the remaining time only.
If I can,
The
I'll give you all
contravention
the
of the
time.
Supreme Court judgment in this bill, in the absence of a parliamentary legislation guiding the selection of ECI members, the 5 judgment I told earlier, the Supreme Court laid down interim guidelines. The case challenged the constitutional validity. And now that the recommendations have totally been overlooked by this government through this bill. In 1990, the Dinesh Goswami Committee had made suggestions to ensure independence of the ECI. Number one, the removal process of CEC and administrative independence of the ECI. So also it has been repeatedly, even in the Supreme Court in 1995, ECs are considered to be at par with the CEC in hierarchy. But now what is happening? The CEC can remove the EC, whereas the CEC can be removed only by an impeachment. Along with all other things, the CEC was earlier on par with the Supreme Court judge. By way of this bill, he has been reduced to on par with Cabinet Secretary.
So they brought amendment.
Okay. Election Commission is a quasi-judicial body. It has a very big authority. So that's a very big question. An amendment has been moved. I think if it is taken up, it will be very well appreciated. So also the global practices can also be adhered. UK has a panel of members of parliament headed by the speaker, not from one party only, invariably from all the other parties. So also South Africa has got a new, another one. So we can follow those things even in America, but whereas this has been done. And I would like to conclude with only one word, ma'am. According to the Mr. S.K. Qureshi, the former CEC, to tackle the major downside of the proposed bill, which is the lopsided selection committee, was to make all its decisions unanimous. That will resolve. But now it says that the majority of the select committee means it's very, very clear. Only the Prime Minister and the Union Minister who is that will be taking the decision. So forming that select committee becomes meaningless, and the search committee's recommendations, if it is ignored, that becomes redundant. So this bill, when it becomes a law, paves way for constituting a search committee and a select committee. Search committee's recommendations become nothing, and the select committee's decision will be unilateral. So the purpose is not solved. So I would suggest to the government, I would urge, what this bill you have brought does not serve the purpose. Better send it to a select committee for a better scrutiny. Stakeholders will come and bring it back with suitable amendments and make it democratic, make it ethical, make it justifiable, and that the selection of the CEC and the election commissioners are transparent and appreciable. Thank you very much.
Nakkheeran TV-க்கு subscribe செய்யுங்கள். உங்கள் ஆதரவே எங்கள் பலம். ஆசிரியர்களுக்கு நண்பனாகவும் மாணவர்களுக்கு ஆசானாகவும் திகழும் தேர்வு வழிகாட்டி. ஒவ்வொரு பாடத்திற்கும் அனுபவமிக்க ஆசிரியர்களின் துல்லியமான தெளிவான விடைகள். CNC இருக்கு, தேர்வு பயம் எதற்கு? இது தீரன் பப்ளிஷிங் ஹவுஸ் விற்பனை வெளியீடு.